This is Pam for Christ. This is another testimony from chapter 12 in my book, talking about how God saved my life, how He continually saved my life in a lot of different, ways. But this one is, I'm just gonna give you a combination of 3 different stories. But where I'm from, which is in Mississippi, there is a lot of country road, and I mean a lot of it. So you have to travel like a whole entire hour to before you get to civilization, like for real. But I like the country, love the country smell, love the air, love the freedom, I used to like ride 4-wheelers, and you can hunt and shoot, things that you can do freely in the country that you can't do in the city. So that part of country life, like the peace and quiet, you don't have to listen to the traffic and stuff like that, I really did love. But in order to get a job, you actually had to really travel in order to work. And the job that I had was, I was young, I was 18, and I was working at Red Lobster. Oh my God, I still love Red Lobster now, but I was working there at Red Lobster, and the restaurant was like an hour away from where I was living. With my mom, but my sisters, I had 2 sisters that stayed in town. And what ended up happening was I kept falling asleep, on the road trying to drive back to my mom's. And it just started to get too dangerous, so I ended up moving in like with both of my sisters and rotating, staying with them and then going back home staying with my mom. But that I remember plenty of times like falling asleep because I have worked all day. I get off and I have to drive a whole entire hour to go home, and you don't have any street lights, you don't have stuff like that you can see your surroundings, or that can sort of help you to stay woke. And on top of that, we used to have to deal with deers. So a lot of people used to have accidents with deers and stuff like that, hitting deers with their cars. And other animals like possums, raccoons, armadillos, you name it, they were running over it. But really, to tell you the truth, I think that was like the only thing that used to wake me up. And I love the animals now, but I used to accidentally, like I said, fall asleep, run off the road, and what would wake me up was me like hitting the animals. And like I said, I love the animals, the armadillos and stuff, but it's like, I'm like, okay, I have to like really change something, because I can't keep killing these innocent animals. And I love, like I said, I just love animals, but I couldn't keep doing it. So like I said, I moved in, like for my safety, and like I said, so I wouldn't be killing God's creatures. I moved in with them. But it's plenty of times, like I said, I can remember God's like really saving me while I'm falling asleep, because back at home, those are some deep ditches. I mean, we got ravines, ditches, and everything else. Yeah, let me flip off the road somewhere. Y'all won't find me till another 4 or 5 days later, especially if I flip and fall in a ravine, because like I said, I mean, you don't have where traffic comes through there all the time like that. So that was one of the times. Another time was it was me and my family, and we were you can say driving illegally, because there were like 9 of us in this old school Cadillac. Oh my goodness, those were the good cars, the good steel cars back then. And there was these 2 people that was in a Southern Comfort truck, and we were at a standstill, and they hit us going 80 miles per hour because they were not looking at what they were doing. And by the grace of God, none of us in the car, we didn't have on the seatbelts. I had nieces and nephews in the car and everything, and none of us got hurt at all. So it is like we felt the impact, because we got dragged, I guess you could say maybe 60 feet, 50, 60 feet, we got dragged. But it's like we heard the impact, but we didn't feel it. So it was one of those things where, like I said, the angels was literally watching over us, because that was an unavoidable accident. Like I said, we were driving illegal as far as like too many people in the car, no car seat, we wasn't wearing the seat belts. But as far as like we were in the right of way, because we had stopped, we had our signal on, and we was getting ready to turn, we was waiting on the other car to come from the opposite direction. But the people that was behind us did not pay attention, and as soon as we were turning, they hit us on the side. And the thing about it is, they were hurt. They had broken bones, cracked ribs, they had messed up necks and everything. You know, the ambulance came and took the people that was in the truck, to the hospital, and the state troop kept saying, why isn't anybody hurt? Why isn't anybody hurt? You guys aren't hurt. And their truck was towed up. I mean, totaled. It was towed up. I'm talking about they were like bleeding so bad. I mean, they didn't even know if they was gonna make it for real. That's just how bad the accident was. But none of us were harmed. And like I said, I just know that definitely was the grace of God, that saved us, because going 80 miles per hour and we were at a standstill, yeah, we should have been towed up too. But I think it had a lot to do with that good old Lincoln. You know what I'm saying? That's that good steel in that car. You know what I'm saying? Let me stop. But for real, the third story is that's the story that sort of gets everybody. When I moved here to Alabama, I moved with a friend of mine, and we were close, and she ended up passing away. And like I said, it's like a 4-hour trip back home from here, where I'm at in Birmingham, Alabama. And what ended up happening was, when she passed away, of course, I was, going to travel back home to go to the funeral, but I didn't sleep. I didn't get any sleep, because like I said, we were friends, we were close, and I guess I was sort of like anticipating the day of actually having to drive down there and go to the funeral and see her body. I mean, that was like, I wasn't ready, but had to be ready, one of those type of things. But I ended up working both of my jobs for 3 days in a row. I didn't sleep for 3 whole days. I didn't at all. I left on a Saturday morning. It was like super early. I think it was like 4 o'clock in the morning. And I left. I got a chance to come home. I talked to my mom for like a few hours, because she hadn't seen me in a while. I had talked to her for like a few hours, and I went straight to the funeral. Mind you, I hadn't had sleep in 3 days. So went to the funeral, but I had to work that next day. I was going to church that morning, and I had to work because I had to dance at church. So I knew that I had to leave, after the funeral, so I can come back, so I can make preparations, to do the dance ministry at church, and also to work, because it was a holiday. It was actually Easter that next day. And so I talked to everybody, said my hello, said my goodbyes, and I hit the road. Now, mind you, I thought I was okay because I was up, I was woke. What was it? The 5-hour energy, I want to say, because I think that it had just came out at the time, the little 5-hour energy drinks. And I popped one of those, and I got me a Mountain Dew. I'm like, okay, so I'm sort of amped up. I'm like, yeah, I'm ready for this 4-hour drive back. And I had called my mom, told her, Mom, I'm on my way back. And what my mom usually does, and which I didn't know until after, this incident, but what she usually does when I tell her I'm on my way back home, she usually reads the Bible and pray for the whole entire 4 hours before I get there. And then when I call and say, hey, I made it home safe, she'll go ahead and, go to bed or do whatever she's going to do. And I called Mom. I was like, okay, Mom, I'm on my way back. And she was like, are you going to rest first? And I was like, no. I said, I'm good, And I told her, I had my little 5-hour energy. I had my Mountain Dew. I'm good, Mom. So she was like, okay. So if you need to talk, just call me if you need to stay woke or whatever. I'm like, no, Mom, I'm good. I wasn't good. What ended up happening was I was trying to rush and get back. That this is where the stupidity comes in my area. But I thank God for Mama praying, and also Him dispatching His angels, because I ended up I was speeding. I was going like 80 miles per hour. Speed limit 70, but I was going 80. Put the car on cruise control. I'm like, okay, yeah. I had the window cracked, because at that time it was a little cool. And had the window crack, sort of help me stay woke and stuff like that. So, every now and then I would crack the window, let it back up. Crack the window, let it back up. And so I was driving for like a little bit over an hour. And there was this truck that was in front of me. And he had left out of town the same time I did. And I don't know if he was going 80, 85. He had to be going a little faster than me. Now, if I know I'm going 80 on cruise control, he had to be going a little bit faster, than me. But I followed this truck for like a whole entire hour. I just made sure I was behind this truck. I didn't switch lanes, in which I should have, to sort of keep myself a little alert. But I didn't switch lanes. I just followed the truck. So for a whole entire hour, I'm behind the truck. I'm following the truck. I fell asleep. And when I say I fell asleep for a while. Now, mind you, a lot of people say, "Oh, that's a problem." When God got you here for a reason, He's gonna do everything possible to keep you and keep you safe. You get what I'm saying? And like I said, especially when somebody's looking out for you and praying for you, I fell asleep for a while. When I woke up, because I kept checking the time as well, I had to have been asleep maybe 10 minutes tops. I want to say 10 minutes is a long time to be driving and sleep. Okay, I woke up, I was on the other side of the road, in which, on the freeway you still have your right lane, your left lane. I was in the right lane for that hour, a little bit over an hour, when I was following the truck. But when I woke up, I was over in the left lane, and the truck I was behind, I was actually passing. So I'm like thinking I'm still asleep. So when I wake up, I'm looking at the fact that I'm in the other lane. I'm looking at the fact that my steering wheel is going on its own. I'm talking about it's straight on the road, going on its own. I'm like, okay. I look over at the car that I was behind. I look back at the road. I look back over again at the car. I said, I just kept looking back and forth. I said, okay. I'm like, oh God, I'm passing the car that I was behind. And instead of me, jerking the steering wheel, I just lightly placed my hands on the steering wheel. And I was like, okay, I'm woke now. I'm like, God, I'm like, are you serious? I'm like, how long was I asleep? When I checked the time, I had been asleep for like 10 minutes. And I'm like, Jesus, it's like serious. My thing is, I went home to go to her funeral. I should have been next. I literally should have been next. Because there is no way a person stays asleep for 10 minutes, but you still on the road? Okay, props. That was God. That was God. You can't tell me what God won't do. Come on. Okay. That it scared me, but at the same time, I was praising God so hard. I called my mom. I told Mama what happened. Mama was like, what? Mama was like, oh no, pull over right now. Pull over. I pulled over to a gas station, to a little rest stop. I went to sleep for like 30 minutes. Called Mama, told her I was back on the road. I'd be home in, like 2.5 hours. And I made it home. I kept the window down. I froze myself. I kept the window down the whole time because I was going to make sure I didn't fall back asleep. And that next day, when I say I gave my testimony in church, because that was a miracle. That was miraculous. That was, like I said, you're not going to tell me what God won't do. I mean, like I said, when you have a purpose here, and He saved your life, oh my man, that it's like I still get tingling inside just even thinking about that. Like, Lord, it's like you was driving my car, like literally while I was asleep. I'm like, and sometimes I'm like wondering, like, Lord, why you save me? I know I'm supposed to been dead, like, for real, God. But He did it. He did it. And I love God for it. I love Him for it. He did it. I mean, it just wasn't my time. It just wasn't my time. It was not my time. And I know other people that have, testimonies like that where they say, God saved them from, when they fell asleep on the road or whatever, and, God saved them and, put them back on the road, or, a truck or something like that was supposed to hit them and it didn't hit them, and, all those things, that they're great, they're wonderful. But like I said in the previous video, this is just another appreciation level. This is just God showing you what it is that He can do. This is just God showing you that He can help you, that He can save you. You get what I'm saying? There's nothing that God can't do. Nothing. Now I understand, some people may be like a little sore about it, saying that, well, I know someone or I had a family member that died in a car accident. Okay, well, maybe it was their time, but at the same time, if it's not yours, God's going to make sure that He saved you until, it's time for you to go. But He's going to make sure He saved you through all of those things, through your storms, through the ups and downs, through the car accidents, through the sickness. He's going to make sure that He does that for you. But, like I said, that's just another one of my testimonies. And actually, if you just be even reading my own chapter 12 in the book, I'm like, like I said, it's just so much stuff that God has saved me from. It's ridiculous. This is like, I am like a living testimony of so many different things that, He has saved me from. And I'm going to share another story, with you guys as well about another time that He, like literally saved my life. But, like I said, God is good. He's good. He's a good God. He's a good Father, a good Father. So this was your girl Pam with Pam for Christ, and I love you guys. You know, share your testimony of how, you know, God helped you or God saved your life as well, because I do want to hear it. Love you guys. And